What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Real Reds Talk, an authentic football fan channel dedicated to Manchester United. This is your preview for the final game against Fulham in the Premier League at Old Trafford. Apologies, we had a little bit of technical issues there with a stream crashing, but we are back now. I hope we are back now. Are we good, Sam? I can't hear you, by the way.
All good. We're all good. We're all good.
You're all good. We're all good. Just double checking. My sympathies go out to the people who are a similar weight to me in England today, as it is scorching hot. So if you feel like you're in a big giant microwave, I'm with you. I'm absolutely with you. But Treyas is kind of used to that heat. Nice to have you on, Treyas. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing fairly well. We had a storm in the morning, so the weather is quite good actually.
Okay. And what would you define as good? What's quite good?
38 degrees or something ridiculous.
32 degrees.
32.
Yeah.
No, not for me. Jibbe, are you enjoying the sunshine or anything? Have you been busy working hard as always?
21 degrees, Shreyas. 21 degrees, and he's talking, it's microwave.
Yeah, mate, if you've got, like, you know what I mean? Like, I've got thick skin, me. Proper thick skin. I can't. Sun, a lot of people, they bring in sun and then they extract.
Let me give you some perspective. I was speaking to my dad. Well, for those who, my dad lives in Nigeria, and I was speaking to him like a couple of months ago, and I was like, "Oh, how's the weather?" He was like, "Yeah, it's cooled down now." It was like 22 this morning.
Yeah. Oh my god.
So yeah. Anyway, but no, I'm liking the sunshine, man. Yeah, it's nice. Everyone's out. Happy days.
Brings out the best in people, doesn't it? I suppose when it's sunshine, and when you're in Manchester, as a lot of people will know, it's 90% of the time.
Sunny Manchester.
Sunny, innit? Raining, innit? Sam, have you been out anywhere enjoying the weather at all?
No, I went to the gym this morning because it's the first time I go back to the gym since tearing my meniscus. So went to the gym this morning, got that in, had a little bit of a walk about in the sun. I've had my balcony door open most of the day, so yeah, it's been all right.
Very nice. I went for a little walk around Salford Quays, which most people always associate just as Salford. When you hear like, "Oh, Salford's lovely, like lovely area." Yeah, mate, where have you been? Salford Quays, yeah. That's it.
Media City's nice. Other
areas.
Have
you ever been Oslo? Yeah. I don't think you have you?
So. Anything after that tram stop, like.
Yeah, it's like wasteland. Anyway, we are here today to discuss the game. Obviously, Manchester United versus Fulham. With Champions League already looking secure. It's looking like just a fight for basically who finishes third or fourth. Shreyas, is this important to you? Do you see it as a significant game? Would you rotate? Just chat to me.
Yeah, I think I would rotate a lot in this game because we've secured Champions League football. I think if definitely it would have been still uncertain that we would be in the top four or not, I would have gone full strength. But now that it's confirmed, I think whether you finish third or fourth, I think it will still be considered a massive achievement for Erik ten Hag for what he's achieved in his campaign since the start of the season. So I would actually rotate in this game. I would rest Varane, I would rest Martial, I would rest practically every single person. I would rest Casemiro as well because I don't want anyone getting suspended or anyone getting injured before that City game. We just lost Antony as well, which is going to be a big loss on that right-hand side. So I would just want us to protect the players that we have at the moment. And if you want to give the youth players a chance in this game as well, go with that. Probably start McFred. I just protect the players that are our starting choice players.
Are you of the similar mind, Chive, going into this one, or are you like, no, give me third? I don't care. I want to win this at all costs.
Yeah, I'm kind of caught in two minds. The reasonable thing to do is what Shreyas is saying, but third kind of looks nice, like the optics, like it's not too far behind Arsenal. Also, it'd be like it's a nice little. I'd rather be third than fourth, but. We have to be realistic. We lost Luke Shaw in the first half. We lost 2 players last game. We can't afford to get a suspension. Some stupid red card. Who knows? Mitrovic comes and stir things up, and then some players might lose their heads. You never know. So I think the wise thing to do would be to rest as many as you can. However, I think after the performance against Chelsea and the way our midfield was just wide open, I think our manager would want to sort that out. Now, there's so much you can do in training, but then I think he might give some of these players a run out, and then makes silly, lots of changes. later on. But I think I have to agree with Sheraz. The right thing to do is just to play your fringe players, play your Maguires, your McTominays, because they might not be here next season. Give them a farewell sort of thing, and just rest everyone else.
Yeah. Sam, it's a weird one, isn't it? Because if you rotate too much, you want the players to have a bit of rhythm, don't you? That's what Ten Hag constantly pushes out there, rhythm, similar to Pep Guardiola in that sense. Do you keep them on maybe 45, 60 minutes and then rotate and bring on some of your fringe players? Or do you agree with kind of Shreyas and Chivy there that you'd maybe start a couple?
If it was up to me, I would definitely rotate and just get all the fringe players in, give them minutes, put them in a shop window for whoever it is you're trying to sell, and that's what. But I think Ten Hag isn't going to do that. We've seen it throughout his first season. He doesn't rotate because he feels like the quality that he has isn't up to the standard. So he's just played his strongest team every single time and tried to go as far as possible. And for the most part, it's worked out. We have had injuries along the way, Eriksen, Lissandro, etc. But for the most part, it's worked out. We've won a Carabao Cup. We were in an FA Cup final. We finished top 4. Obviously, Europa League didn't go as well as we wanted it to, but it is what it is. So, yeah, I think we'll see a couple of rotations, but I don't think we'll see the heavy rotation that I would want to see. So, it's going to be interesting anyway. Yeah, I know I've done the 11s for us that we're going to sort of go into later. Some of us have gone heavy rotation. Some of the other ones we've not done any at all. So, it'd be interesting to see. I'll just read out a couple of comments. Brian Casey, 21 degrees here in Ireland and we're melting. Yeah, the Irish don't do well on the old weather, did they? They're not good at it.
Shout out, Brian.
Yeah, shout out to Brian. He's a Real Reds Ultra. If you want to join Real Reds Ultras, by the way, hit the join button. Exclusive content, badge next to your name, and you get a chance to feature on the show. Check that out. Aaron Diaz, any news on the takeover? Nothing as yet, mate. Nothing's come out as of yet. We were expecting something yesterday, but it hasn't come out. Brandon, we should win if we rotate anyways. And then Brian's replied, have you seen our second team? We ain't beating anybody with McFred and Maguire. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's certainly going to be interesting. And the date in general tomorrow is going to be interesting. I'm going to be live on YouTube and TikTok from 3:30, covering as many Premier League games as possible. But obviously, the focus is going to be on Manchester United. So make sure you come and join me, get in the comment section, and we'll go through all the stuff. The last day of the Premier League together. And like Sam said there, if you want to become a Real Red Ultra, click the join button next to the notification bar. We've got 2 spots left in the starting 11, and we'd love to fill them so we can do the live show. So, yeah, I make sure you smash like in the video. We're going to do the warm-up, as always, so viewers get involved again. Who do you scored more goals in the league this season? Andreas Pereira or Casemiro?
Casemiro.
Sorry, Nick, your mic kind of cut out the first question.
Who do you think has scored more goals in the league this season? Andreas Pereira or Casemiro?
Pereira.
4 apiece. Both scored 4. A little bit of a trick question there. Who scored more, Willian or Anthony?
Willian.
In the league.
In the league.
I don't know how many Williams scored, but Anthony has 3. I think he's got 3 or 4.
I think he's got 4. Yeah.
I don't know how many Williams has.
Who's saying Strauss?
I'll just go Willian. I'll go Willian.
Willian's got 1 more. He's got 5 goals. Anthony's got 4. Last one. Dan James or Christian Eriksen?
I think it's Dan James. I don't know if Christian Eriksen's got that many in the league, has he? I think he's only got about.
He scored 1 in the league. Dan James has scored.
Yeah.
Dan James, yeah.
I think they both have 1.
I think both, yeah.
Dan James got 2. Christian Eriksen has 1. Can I remember the Eriksen goal? Because I was trying to think before.
Was it a free kick? Was it a free kick?
No, I think he scored against Fulham. The first time we played Fulham in the league.
Oh, yeah, Wan-Bissaka.
He scored and then
cross,
yeah.
And then
Garnacho scored the winner.
Yeah, and he got an assist, a very important assist in that game as well, I think, to be fair. Last question, who has more points, Fulham this season or us last season?
Last season we had 58.
We had 58 last season. I'm going to go Fulham.
I go Fulham.
So you think Fulham has more points than us than last season?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Fulham are currently on 52. If they beat us tomorrow, they could get 55. We got 58 last season, didn't we?
What What position is Fulham?
10th.
10th.
Really?
Yeah.
A lot of teams have dropped off this season, though, haven't they? Like Chelsea dropped off, Liverpool dropped off. So there's quite a few teams that have like fell. Spurs
Leicester as well. Fucking hell.
Tottenham.
I actually thought they'd be higher.
Well, they had a really good run, didn't they? They were starting to push into like the top 6 with like Brighton. They're there, and then like sort of
Then Palhinha got injured.
April time. I think they kind of dropped off quite a bit, and then they went on a bit of a bad run.
Mitrovic got banned as well, didn't he?
As well.
Yeah, he got banned as well.
Yeah. So with that in mind, let's kick the preview off then. I actually feel a little bit sad, to be honest, because it's the last game of the season. We're going to go into the transfer madness in the summer, so no games to cover apart from pre-season games. But as we all know, pre-season games are not the best to cover when you're doing like a live watch along. Especially Adam will know that as well, who's in the chat. But look, there are going to be things. I know you guys kind of said, third or fourth, not too fussed about it, but there are things like the history books. There are things like the home record, and I think there's certain financial implications as well involved. But I suppose it just in general it'd be nice to sign off with a win and round up what has been a decent first season in Erik ten Hag's first year. I think it's been successful, to be honest. So I know we spoke about. I'm not going to ask you about rotation because we already kind of touched on that. All I'll ask you about is Erik ten Hag in general, Chive. Would you, given everything me and Sam touched on it yesterday, everything he's had to deal with, but the transfer market as well in mind, do you think he's had a successful season, Erik ten Hag?
100%, absolutely. The Manchester United manager position was probably the toughest job in football when Erik ten Hag took it, because we had just ended the season on the lowest points ever. We'd had such a toxic environment. I mean, it was the worst place to go. Like, nobody would touch us. Yeah, it was literally the worst place to go. And somebody to come in and to pull off it's not like he came in and just quietly went about his business. No, he came in with all the scrutiny. From the summer, like, he had to deal with a lot of issues. I know you guys touched on stuff, on that. But then if you think about it, like, he came in and from the summer, like, Ronaldo had said he was going to stay. And then towards the, he didn't turn up for preseason. Then it's like, I don't want to come and play. Then we're chasing Frankie de Jong, and then we're worried, who's going to play in attack? Just from there, with the Greenwood situation, handling the captaincy, with all the injuries we've had, with the way we started, with everybody, all the pressure and everything, and to come out with 2 cup finals, and to qualify for the Champions League, it has to be a success. Like, we were never going to win the league. So yeah, and then he's doing this with still a lot of the players that we had from last season. So one successful, one trait about a manager, to tell if a manager is successful, if he can get the best out of the players that he has, and he's managed to do it. Like, he's brought people back to life. Like, Aaron Wan-Bissaka was dead and gone. Yeah, and I've never seen him play this good, both at Palace and United. So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that this man has to take credit for, but I think he's done an amazing job, and I would 100% class this as a success. Yes, we have bigger standards at Manchester United, but I think given what he walked into, on anybody's level, it's a success.
Yeah, I think the Champions League was a big one, wasn't it? Getting that, making sure that was solidified, because that could have been catastrophic if we started losing a couple of games towards the end of the season and dropped out of that.
Can I just add that let's not forget Guardiola came third in his first season.
Yeah,
came true. Third. So it's not like a walk. It's not like a cakewalk where you just come in.
Jurgen Klopp came 9th.
7th,
I think.
7th, yeah, 7th. So
7th.
It's not a cakewalk to just come in and they all came in and went about their business. Like, but him from the get-go, scrutiny coming after Ragnick and all that, Ole and all that stuff. You have to give this guy's credit.
Well, we've got quite a few people in chat. I'd love to hear everybody else's thoughts, so do get them in about Erik ten Hag and his season. If you count it as overachieving, successful, whatever it is, whatever kind of spin you have on it, drop it in the comment section. Shreyas, how would you personally assess Erik ten Hag's first season in charge? Do you agree with a lot of what Chivi said?
Yeah, absolutely. I think he has overachieved in this campaign. He has pretty much brought, like mentioned before, he's brought a lot of players back to life. He's practically made Marcus Rashford one of the best wingers in the world this season. The way he performed, and a lot of people wrote Marcus Rashford off, last season. Like at the start of the season, anyone would have taken like a 40 million or 45 million offer for Marcus Rashford at the
Not
beginning
me.
of the transfer window.
Just
Exactly,
have to put that out there.
and
Not me.
now no one would even let him go for like a 90. So I think he's done the most that he could with the squad that was given to him. He also had to deal with the fact that most of the signings that he made came after the preseason and actually after when the season started. Like Anthony came late, Casemiro came late. Ericsson was there, but Ericsson couldn't be a part of the preseason as well.
It's only
So
last year, wasn't it, on pre-season?
exactly,
That's it.
and so it took time for a lot of these players to actually integrate with the team, and with the fact that the World Cup was scheduled in a very very bad position, I would say, when it comes to dealing with club football, and the fact that we played every single 3 days, like one fixture every single 3 days for about 3 to 4 months, and we were able to be in a position where people actually believed that we could win the league. Like everyone knew that we couldn't, but when you look at the points tally at that point of time when we beat City, a lot of people said that it's just a 3 point or a 4 point gap and anything can happen. So the fact that he just put us into a conversation with the squad that he had, with the injuries that we had as well, I think he's definitely overachieved this season.
Yeah, I think this is what makes the end of season preview so interesting. I can't wait to do that with everyone because we're going to do all our kind of top 5 and player of the season, manager of the season. Well, not manager, obviously, Ten Hag, but you take my point. We're going to do all that kind of stuff, which will be fun. Brian sitting in the chat saying definitely overachieved. No one gave us a chance of top 4, let alone winning a trophy. And it doesn't matter if the Carabao Cup is a trophy. He's made Old Trafford a fortress again. And that's why context is important. And Sam, we discussed this yesterday, so I'm not going to ask kind of a similar thing. I wanted to ask you, tomorrow obviously could be the last game ever at Old Trafford for quite a few players. How would you reflect on some of the loan signings, some of the fringe players, some of the players who were first team starters and now potentially going?
There's a couple of obvious ones that you think I'm almost 100% nailed on to go. Maguire comes to mind. You think this is probably his last opportunity to play at Old Trafford if he does start. It seems like even when we had a desperation for a centre-back, when we had Varane and Lissandro out, he chose to play Luke Shaw instead. And he could have well just chucked Maguire in and he didn't, which says to me that manager doesn't fancy him or doesn't think he fits into the squad. So I can see him going. Scott McTominay, there's a lot of rumours around him. He's not really played much, even when he has been fit. He's not played as much. Fred, as well, as of late, has been left out quite a lot. Like, he's not played at all recently. So they could be 2 interesting players to go. We've already confirmed, I think, Phil Jones is going, Twanzabi's going.
Yeah.
So I know they're out the door. Brandon Williams is probably gone, if I'm honest with you. Load signings, Sabitzer, I like him a lot. I think he's very, very good. If we could sign him for squad depth as a replacement for like a McTominay or a Fred, not first team starter, like a squad depth for 15-20, I'm happy with that. But we have to get in a world-class number 8 or a midfielder who could push Ericsson out.
Can I just interject there?
Sure.
Sabitzer, I'm not sold on.
Well,
I don't know what it is. I'm still not sold on him yet.
I think he's class. I think he's very, very good, and we haven't seen we've seen tips of what he could do, but not his full best yet. I think he's one of the better players that we have. Vegos.
Does his injuries not worry you though slightly, Sam? The fact that he's been here 6 months and he's had 3 injuries already.
It's possible. It's definitely possible, but I think we've managed Varane's injuries quite well. And he's managed to play the entire season nearly up until recently. He's played the entire season without incident, and then he's obviously just had that one recently, but he's come back quite quickly. And I think the only other injury we've had is Martial, and he seems to have got him fit again now. He's not been playing well, but he seems to have
just
finally...
played 60 minutes though, innit? He has like 60 minutes off, 60 minutes on.
So yeah. I think he might be able to sort that out, but who knows? We'll see. And then Vegos, it's not worked, has it? Just not worked. Works hard, gets it, will give you everything, but the quality is not there at all. Can't finish, doesn't offer much in the air, doesn't really do much in the passing. There's got no speed. So again, like the guy a lot, think he's been a tremendous professional, but just quality-wise is severely lacking, so that hasn't worked at all. And it just shows you our need to get a world-class striker in this summer. That has to be number one priority. And then there could be some shocks on the cards. You could see people like, say, a Jadon Sancho. We don't know what happens with Jadon Sancho, because if somebody came in with, say, 50, 60 million, it might be hard to turn. It might be hard to turn that down. It really would, because you've got Ahmad coming back. He's got Anthony. He's not going to sell him because he's paid a lot of money for him. Yeah. You've got Ahmad coming back. Palestri's that's still there. You got Garnacho, Rashford, etc. Like, if somebody came in, you don't know. You might take the money, and then that's extra money to go spend on the rest of your squad and stuff like that. I still think there's question marks over Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I think there shouldn't be, because I think he has played an absolute blinder, and his comeback has been nothing short of phenomenal. He's been one of our best players in the second half of the season. But we seem to see these constant connections to Frimpong, and he's a very different type of forward to type of fullback to what Wan-Bissaka is. So I think with the links to Kim Min-jae as well, I think Ten Hag wants to change it tactically, the way he plays, back three maybe, attacking wing backs and stuff. So I think he wants to change stuff up. So it wouldn't surprise me to see Wan-Bissaka go, because he's in great form. You get a decent amount of money for him, and then that's extra money to go towards the rest of the squad rebuild. So yeah, there could be a shocker on the cards as well.
I think there will be a change tactically. Whether he goes with a back three or not, I'm not sure. But I think he'll more lean towards a 4-3-3 with 2 8s and having Mason Mount and a Bruno either side of Casemiro. That's the way I think he's going to go. And Casemiro can sit back, the 2 centre-backs can split, and then you kind of wing-backs can push right on like Luke Shaw can, and Frimpong, and you have that kind of horseshoe then in your attacking form, the 3-2-5 development going forward. But in terms of individuals, I think it's very interesting. Chivy, if your boy Martial leaves, are you going to be outside Old Trafford with Maroon 5 on your stereo?
I won't be too bothered. Like,
tap on my window, knock.
I mean, it would be a shame to see him go without actually living up to his potential. But the problem with Martial and like Jadon Sancho, as Sam was saying, is not the transfer fees, the wages. That's the problem with other clubs signing them, is because Jadon is on like close to 300 or
350.
Yeah, 350. Nobody's paying that. Absolutely not. So
no.
That's the issue. Also, it depends on the FFP thing. If we get new owners, good. But if not, like, we'd have to sell quite a few players before we can even think of buying 2 strikers. I think both Sancho and Martial will stay. Probably it might end up being their last season, just because there's a lot of positions that need to be filled.
Yeah.
So I think we might keep them just for squad depth. But Martial, I won't be too. I mean, I'll be sad because obviously he's one of my favorite players. He's always been in the squad at the moment. But if he goes, like, you really can't complain. Like, the strongest Martial FC fan. I mean, if you're a realistic fan.
Where are you speaking in third person there?
What do you mean?
The strongest Martial FC fan.
You're president. You're president of Martial FC, mate. Like, what are you talking about?
Well, even the strongest fan.
Yeah.
Let's just clear this up. Like this, I think Martial FC has like 2 different definitions. In my head, it's just people who like Martial, but I think online, I think it's like a whole
other level.
It's a whole other level of It's just it's people who like he scores and we go, hey, Martial FC, but it's not like because they're really cutthroat online.
Like
I've seen people like
Pogba FC, like that kind of online vitriol of just like
no, I'm not.
Well, Martial could literally kick your nana and they'd be like, I love him. I'll absolutely love him to death. Like, he's my
Martial
guy.
FC was born when he put the ball through Skirter's legs.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's Martial FC for me.
Yeah.
When we won, when he scored in the FA Cup's was it the final or the semis?
Semis. Everton, you're on about.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. That's the last time I ever remember having tears in my eyes, ever. Like, I don't remember the last. Yeah, anyway, but like, the point I'm trying to make is that, I mean, we would have to understand if he goes.
Yeah.
Apart from 100%. The injury, because we have to be realistic. The injuries have kind of hindered him. Yes, he's coming back, but then we've seen recently his touch has kind of left him a bit. Maybe that's just rustiness. I don't know. Hopefully he stays for squad depth and gets fitter and can contribute. But if he leaves, I'll be sad, but I understand this for the team. Like he has to go for other things to happen. So yeah, because there's lots of young strikers coming up in Europe, and if we can get one of those young guys to come in and even just to aid maybe a Harry Kane or something.
Yeah.
Then yeah, I won't be too mad.
Have to be cutthroat sometimes, don't you? Especially given the wages, considering the wages, like you say. Shreyas, I've heard rumours that United got Palestra for 10 million. Gives your thoughts on that?
Yeah, there are no rumors. There are no such rumors.
What are you feeling like for his future though? With that, you thinking alone, and I know you mentioned Fred as well, that you could potentially get some money for him. How do you see it going without obviously going into every single sale that we're going to think of?
Yeah. I think he goes out on loan next season. I think he'll definitely get more minutes outside of United. I think next season, Ahmad and Garnacho would be, backups on that left hand and right hand flanks, and Garnacho would, I think, could probably take that spot from Sancho as that option for the left wing or any of those attacking positions. And I think Pelistri, for him, I think he still needs to develop a little more, and for him to get that time, I think it would be best for him to actually go out on loan, probably similar to Ahmad, like a championship club, probably even a Prem club or somewhere out in the German or the Portuguese league. And yeah, except that I think on Fred, I think this is the best time to actually cash out on him because um, this season, how he has played, you could get 20 million for him. Like if you are able to sell him very well, you could get 20 or 22 million for him. But if you extend his deal by even like 2 to 3 years, I don't think you make that amount of money off Fred because I think this is the best you can expect from Fred. If you look at it as season perspective, like what he's done from the start to the end, I think he can be one of those options that you can use to actually raise money. But if you're not able to sign enough players, then I think we'll be in a position where we'll have to keep Fred because we need depth as well to work, with the kind of season that would be coming up. So if you can sell Fred, get money and get like a couple of midfielders in, go. I think go ahead and sell him. But if you can't, then probably you need to hang on to Fred.
Can I just add something? Like I understand the whole Fred thing, but I think before we sell, I mean, McTominay and Van der Beek would have to go first before we even consider selling Fred.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I think we have to. The main thing we have to really consider is getting rid of. I don't want to use the word deadwood, because I like these guys, but getting rid of the fringe, the players who aren't really involved, before we can start thinking of selling some of our squad players.
I think in an ideal world, if you ask a lot of us, we'd be like, well, if you can get this for Fred, this for McTominay, this for Maguire, this for this guy, this for this guy, and we get 200 million put aside for selling them all, perfect. If you can recruit well, then that's absolutely fine. But it just doesn't work like that, does it? Football just does not work like that. I've been in numerous times where we sat here before transfer windows and we're like, yeah, we sell him 10, blah, blah, blah. Just doesn't go like that ever, especially with the wages that some of our players are on. Now, obviously, some are going to leave because of the wages. Not because of the wages, because of the contracts running out, sorry. So some are definitely going. But we are notoriously bad, really, really bad at selling players. We have been for a long, long time. Whether that changes or not with the new ownership, it's yet to be seen. So I'm not fully convinced we're going to sell a lot of players this summer because history proves that we just don't. So I do think it's interesting though. But before we dive into anything to do with it, before that actually happens, the ownership and transfers and stuff, we've got a game tomorrow. So I just want to slightly bring it back towards that and just discuss Fulham for a second. I was having a look at the record before. They've won 2, drawn 1, and lost 2 in the last 5 games, scoring 10 and conceding 7. So a little bit of a mixed bag for Marco Silva. He's done a great job with them, it has to be said, bringing Fulham up and a bit of a mainstay, similar to Brentford in that kind of sense, like he's overachieved for them. And they have 2 players that I wanted to discuss who is going to be vital to keep hold of if they're to be successful next season or finish, in the same area. You've got Mitrovic and Paulinho, who have been massive for them. Chivy, these players, would you take a look at any of them for United? And are they impressed you in general this season?
Paulina, definitely. 100%. If we could get a good deal for him, that'll probably be one of my top midfielders to get. Because we definitely don't have anyone similar to Casemiro. Like, if we lose him, we don't have anyone of that profile in the squad.
Yeah.
I mean, the closest we might have is Kobe Mainoo, but he's not really like a combative six.
Yeah.
If anything,
He's a box to box, isn't he? Mainly.
more of a box, yeah. And I know he's quite young, but he doesn't show the same sort of fight or confidence that Pogba showed when he was that age.
Mm-hmm.
I need someone with a bit more character. Just give me something to hold on to. Like maybe that's his temperament. I don't know, but I would love Paulino if we can.
Both Brazilian as well. Both Brazilian. So.
Mate, if we can get that guy.
Paulinho's Portuguese.
Well, Portuguese.
I thought he was Brazilian.
Yeah. I mean, they speak the same language, so that's something to go off.
I was like, I heard Paulinho. I was like, that is a Brazilian name. That I thought because it's one name as well.
Come on, Scottish, Irish, English, same thing.
Hey, careful. Careful.
You're gonna get us cancelled, Chivy.
Yeah. Let's not get into any kind of politics.
Actually, I was actually targeting Sam with that. Like,
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
But no, I didn't mean that. I'm sorry. I was just trying to get to Sam. But yeah, don't come for me or nobody.
Chivy, if I came for you, the cancellations across the centre, it's just not good.
Yeah, this could go any way. Any way one of us want to go about it, it's not great. So let's just.
They both speak Brazilian. They'll get along really well.
Yeah. Portuguese. Speak Portuguese, Chivy.
Oh,
Go on.
No.
I'm the racist, but yeah, that's fine.
They both speak English.
Do they? I don't know. I'm not sure.
I think Casemiro speaks a little bit of English. Like he recognizes.
It's not great. It's like little words. To be honest, it's irrelevant. It don't really matter. They speak fucking whatever. Do you know what I mean? It is what it is. Yeah. But it does. I don't know. It's a bit of a minefield. This. Paulinho. Yeah. Portuguese, Brazilian, English.
Good signing.
Person. Great signing. Sam, last time we played Fulham, bit mental, wasn't it? FA Cup tie, 3 players sent off.
Yeah.
But in that game, Fulham was actually the better team, weren't they?
Yeah, we were terrible. I was at that game. I think were you at the game as well, Nick? We were both there.
No, it was the watch along for Paddock.
Yeah. So I was at that game, and I was just watching it, going, "This game is awful. We were so bad, just getting cut open down the midfield, left, right, and centre. Defenders looked all over the place." And our attacking was just not happening. So I was just like, oh, we're going out of the FA Cup here. And then just 5-10 minutes of absolute insanity with Mitrovic strangling up a fucking referee. Was it a Willian handball? Was that what he got sent off for?
Yeah, Willian handball.
And then
off the line, wasn't it?
I don't even know what Marco Silva did, the manager. I don't even know.
Marco Silva had his earphones in with Eminem losing in the tunnel, getting ready to scrap the referee in the officials when they get in there. Like hyping himself up.
I don't even know what happened there because I was in the stands. So I don't even see what happened there. And then I come out of the ground and they're like, yeah, the manager got sent off as well. I was like, what the fuck happened? Right, so, absolute madness. We score and then we score 2 goals. We get back into the game and then we just have that third at the end just to sort of top it off and then it's game over.
It's a bit, right?
Yeah, it's a bit so. With a little back heel.
Yeah.
So nice, and that was it. And then I didn't see that coming. I was like, we're definitely going out of this competition. Then managed to pull it around thanks to those red cards for the main point.
Shreyas, you're kind of too young to remember, but just a glimpse. This was like what United were like in the 90s. Like, would be absolute crap, and then something happens, and then the referee just comes and just changes it for us.
Yeah,
we definitely got away with the one. So this is kind of like, it reminded me so much of like United in the 90s.
Yeah, it's crazy that one clip alone, by the way, on our Instagram, 1.1 million views. That's fucking insane. It's just 3 red cards from the side, just like everything kicking off, and no one has a fucking clue what's going on. He's got a ref looking at the screen. Marco Silva's giving it all that. Like
Mitrovic is trying to grip him up. Like
Mitrovic is like, he's a scary man. If I was that ref, I would have had a little something in my undies, mate. If he was coming at me like that, he's a scary man.
Big Serbian striker, just fucking trying to kill you.
Loving it. I was loving it.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
screaming, punch him, punch him. Yes, no.
Don't call it that.
I was loving it.
Punch
Yeah,
him.
honestly, we were toast. We were toast. That
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was all inner Joe Rogan coming out when we was watching that
Yeah.
Mitrovic shit kicking off. Sure, that's just the last question on Fulham. What do we need to do specifically right tomorrow to get the 3 points? Because there was, like we touched on before in the Chelsea game, there was areas of weakness, weren't there? The midfield was a little bit spacious, lapses of concentration at the back.
I think we just need to make sure that we don't really fall asleep, like, when the game starts, like the first 15 minutes, especially, because, as seen with Fulham, especially the first time we played them, and, the last fixture we had in the FA Cup as well, they seem to suffocate us in the first 15 to 20 minutes. Somehow they manage to do it every single time we play them. And by the time the first half ends, we try and, grow into the game, but then the second half starts, and it is the same story all over again. So I would say just, start the game on the front foot. Don't let them play, with rhythm in the midfield. Try and target, Palinia, because the moment you target Palinia, their entire system just completely falls apart.
Yeah.
So, if you're able to keep Palinia quiet, if, Palinia doesn't have a good game, they don't have that platform from where their attack seems to build up. So target Palinia, or make sure to start the game on the front foot, and yeah, if you get the early goal, then you're pretty much sorted against Fulham, because if Fulham are those sort of teams that, they play compact, very, very compact, when it comes to their shape. But if you get an early goal, spaces tend to open up, and we know how to exploit our chances when it comes to open spaces.
We're talking about suffocating. I think if Mitrovic would have been on that second 10 seconds longer, he could have suffocated the official himself. He was an angry boy, an angry boy. But yeah, you're absolutely right about Paulinho. If you stop the midfield ticking over, I think you're absolutely fine. And with us being at home, got no worries. And we've got our own world-class midfielder in Casemiro, so everything's absolutely breezy. Just a quick update on the head-to-head record. Last 5 games between Fulham and Man United, we've won 4 and drew 1, so we haven't lost to him in quite a while, if that means anything. And injuries, everything is as normal, no fresh injuries. Well, we've obviously Anthony's out for 2 months, the obvious one. Not sure what's happening with Luke Shaw. I don't know if any of you guys seen it.
He trained today, so I think it was just a precaution. I think he tweets his back, and they were like, just to make sure, we'll take him off and put Malacia on, because it's like for like Donny's team training again. I don't know if you see him tomorrow. I don't know, but he's back in training.
He'll get a minute. I reckon he'll get a minute or something towards the end of the game. Bless him.
Question from Brian: would you take Mitrovic at United?
No, I don't like his lack of pace, and I know pace isn't everything, but he's not exactly. He's not like a Harry Kane where he can drop in and create like him as well. So you have to play to his strengths, and with our wingers, I don't think they would. To be honest with you, I think Rashford could be selfish, and Ante doesn't like putting balls into the box either.
As a squad player, to do the whole Fellaini thing up front, I wouldn't mind.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Better than Vegor. Better than Vegors, didn't it? Like, it's better than bringing Vegors down.
I was literally just about to say that.
But anyone's better than fucking Vegors, aren't they? Let's be honest.
He scores at every level. Every time he plays, he's your typical 15-goal sort of striker. So yeah, I mean, if there's a deal to be done,
expensive super sub though, innit? That's the thing. Fulham would want mega amounts for their top.
He wouldn't mind. He wouldn't mind to come.
No, I'm sure.
But just a quick touch on the midfield, like you mentioned just now. I think apart from stopping Paulinho, like, we have to keep our shape, and our positioning against Chelsea was horrendous. I mean, that midfield was wide open. So yeah, if we just keep our shape in the midfield, because there was a time when Eriksen was like on the left-hand side and Casemiro was kind of not really in the middle, and Bruno was pushing forward, and we're just wide open. So yeah, agreed.
Right then, let's do some quick fire questions. We've got Aaron Gregory in the chat. Big up to Aaron, saying we need to be bringing in better quality than Mitrovic. I tend to agree with that, but yeah, I agree also with the super sub comment. Yeah, quick fire questions, fellas. Tomorrow afternoon, Manchester United versus Fulham at Old Trafford. Will we keep a clean sheet?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Will we score? Oh. Will we score more than 2?
No.
I think we'll score 2.
I agree. Will Garnacho start?
Yeah.
I will say yeah, because he's in my 11. So.
No, I don't think so.
Swap one player from our team for a Fulham player, but whatever position you pick has to go the other way.
First team.
Yeah.
Leno for De Gea.
Fucking hell. Wow. The disrespect.
I'm sick of
Sat
it.
there like,
I'm done. I'm done with De
I've got
Gea,
the
man.
golden glove.
I'm done. Like, I'm fucking over it, man. I'm just can we get a
Wow.
goalkeeper who's capable of distribution? For the love of Christ, so sick of it.
Explosive. Okay, Sam's gone with Leno.
Brian-
Shreyas, I have a feeling your answer might be different.
Brian is saying Mitrovic for Vegor. Vegor's not first teamer, Brian. Like, don't
Yeah,
play
it would be
first team.
Martial.
That's a good shout, though. That would be a really good.
Yeah,
shout.
I'd go with that. If it was substitutions, I'd
Mate,
bring in Paulinho for McTominay. Like, do you know what I mean? It has to be
I'd
first
have a
team.
plank of wood for Vegas,
Yeah,
mate.
sorry. Like, it's got to be first team. It's got to be first team.
I would go Paulinho for Eriksen.
Oh, would you not lose out on your creativity there, though? Do you think? Lack it, or maybe push Casemiro on a little bit, because he is quite creative. You saw that chip
Yeah,
against Chelsea, mate.
Yeah.
God damn. God damn.
yeah.
Please,
I would.
Who
Paulinho
plays
for
right?
Eriksen.
Who plays right back?
Tete. If you replace the E with an I, you've got a very funny name there.
Wee. He can't replace. No, I don't care who their right back is. He's not replacing Wan-Bissaka this season.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Like,
I'm
not-
just thinking. 'cause
fucking
I-
chance.
Would just purely
No,
so
I
I can go, come on, City! Come on, City! I'm not gonna do that.
Nick just wants to shout from the
Uh,
crowd. There's a titty. There's a titty.
Yeah. City, get back!
and the balls come to Titi.
City! City's all over the place.
Uh,
Yeah,
Forget-
imagine Gary Neville going, oh, titties all over the place. Man.
That's to say, Martin,
Have to
City's been
pay.
atrocious
Who wa-
this game.
who was it? Do you remember when we were playing? Who we were playing? And Titi was playing, and whoever was pronouncing it really weird. Was it Adam who was pronouncing it really weird? He was going Titi.
City, yeah. Yeah, and me and you was breaking up, weren't we, every time he was saying it.
Guys, I remember the first time I saw that goalkeeper, the PSG guy, Areola.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
But the thing was like everyone's normal about
Yeah.
it. It's like,
yeah.
What the fuck?
doesn't anyone say, like,
Yeah.
I might
Why
really-
is someone losing their mind at this? The French nipple
Yeah.
in net. Why is someone losing a fucking mind?
like, why am I the only one?
Goalkeeper, Areola.
Yeah. I'm like, why am I the only one who finds this like weird? Everyone's just
Yeah.
like, oh.
We're all children. It's mad because Reyes is the youngest one, and he's the one who's keeping the most composure on the
Yeah.
chat. So.
Yeah.
Go-
I've just
Goes
noticed,
to
like,
show.
he's just kept a straight face the whole time. I'm like, does he not get it?
Yeah. Well, the
Aaron saying
Yeah.
bring Andreas back. Oh fuck off! I'm not dealing with that again.
Get in
No.
there.
Pre-season Perlo. Jesus Christ.
no, never, ever.
I'll go with Shreyas move as well.
To be honest,
I'm
quick
not
fires.
changing. I'm not changing anyone. I'm not changing anyone.
Yeah, fine. Quick fire's done. It's not quick fire anymore. I'm gonna have to change it to medium fire or just fucking snow or something. Predicted 11s. Let's go into that. Who wants to kick it off? Because Sam's
Hold
gonna
on.
upload yours right
Let
now.
me,
So
Let me switch to the screen. Oh, for fuck's sake! I've messed it up. No. Wait. I've messed it up. Oh no, there we go. We're good. Who wants to go first? Shreyas? Okay. There we go.
apparently. So everything you just said about your team.
I'm on mute. I'm on mute.
I think that might be my fault. Just give me a second. I've switched back to the old one. So you keep talking and while I sort that out.
Okay, so Shreyas has said McFred is the best midfield on the planet, so he thinks Eric Ten Hag is going to put them in
We
there.
stick with McTominay and we don't get Frankie De Jong.
Yeah, he said he can hear you now, so we're all good. Yeah, I don't know. We can't go back through the team, but basically, just summarise it all very quickly.
They saw
Shreyas,
they saw it on the screen. Everybody saw it.
Yeah,
so.
you saw it. You think it's going to be a bit of rotation, right? And you think you're not sure
Yeah.
about the centre backs essentially going into
Yeah.
the FA Cup final, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Apologies about that. Who wants to go next, Chive? Do you want to upload? You think? Well, not you're not uploading it, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, go for it.
Just remind me if I've got anything wrong. So I went with De Gea.
Yeah.
Did I go with Dallo?
Yep.
Yeah, Dallo, Varane, Lindelof.
No, he didn't do Varane.
Oh, Maguire.
Yeah,
of
you did
course.
Maguire.
Yes, yes, my captain. Dallo, Maguire, Lindelof, Malacia,
Yep.
Bruno, Casemiro,
Fred, you put.
Fred.
Yeah.
Fred, yeah. Bruno, Casemiro, Fred. And I think I went with Rashford, Martial, and Sancho.
Yes.
Ooh,
Correct.
Very similar to mine, that.
Yeah, so even though I don't think that's what we should do, I think that's what the manager will do.
Yeah. Whereas you'd
I'll
have Weghorst up top, you'd have Maguire and Lindelof at the back, McFred in the midfield, and then
I'll do
Butland in
like,
there.
Butland.
Yeah, exactly. No, seriously, yeah. Do like a whole test. Yeah, just make it a testimonial. Fucking bring
Bill
Phil
Jones!
Jones back.
We want Jones! We want
Bring Phil
Jones!
Jones back. Yeah, for a testimonial.
Bring him back.
He's
Brandon
not completed
Williams.
a training session, for fuck's sake. He's not going to play a game.
Don't matter. Don't matter.
Hey, if it was up to me, we'll do a yard sale. Like, come and come and choose who you want.
Yeah, showcase the talent.
Brandon Williams, everybody in there.
Elanga on the right and stuff, yeah.
Exactly. You know, but on the serious note, it would be good to also see like Pellistri and comment. Sorry,
Yeah.
not Pellistri. Zidane. Like just to comment. On, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's my
Cool. Sam, do you want to go for yours or do you want me to go for
Yeah,
mine?
no, I'll do mine. Also, what are we going to do next season? Phil Jones is no longer at United. We're not going to be able to mention him. Like we're gonna have to pick. We're gonna have to pick another player to take the piss.
He stays
Well-
at the club as a fitness coach.
Oh fucking hell!
Yeah, but then it's not. I don't feel the same. Then I feel like we need
Yeah.
a new.
I need to pick.
Yeah, I'll
someone.
have a think. You go for
Yeah.
your team, and
I'll go
have
for my
a think.
team.
Donny will
Maybe-
remain at the club.
Yeah, maybe Donny.
Donny.
Donny Van den Beek,
handing
great,
bibs
mate.
handing bibs out like he was.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Yeah, David De Gea, Dallo, Maguire, Lindelof, Malacia, just because I think he'll freshen it up and then he will keep the strongest sort of defensive backline for the FA Cup final. McTominay and Fred, just because they've not played any games, and I think he'll want to rest Casemiro, Eriksen, etc. I think Bruno plays because he plays every game. It's just what he does. Never drops. He's never out of the team. I think Garnacho gets a start because obviously Rashford didn't start last game. He had to come on due to the illness, so I think he might just rest him, give him that extra time to get back to 100% full fitness for the FA Cup final. I think Sancho on the right because Anthony's obviously out, and he just doesn't seem to trust Pellistri. I don't know what it is. He just doesn't seem to want to play him since that Barcelona thing. He just doesn't seem to want to play him. So not Barcelona, Betis. Just doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't seem to fancy him. I don't know why. I'd like to see him, but I don't think it happens. And then Weghorst up top to give Martial the night off, the afternoon off. So yeah, that's my team.
I like it. I'm a bit like in and ahhing with the rhythm kind of thing because I feel like he will want to keep people in just to keep that. But I've gone with David De Gea in there, of course. Dalot just purely because I hadn't seen him play for a while, and I think this would be a good game to get him back into the team, get him playing. Maguire because it could be his final send off for the captain to leave the club in the summer. Lindelof because he's been playing fantastically well, and I think he don't really need any rest. I did go with Shaw, but I wasn't sure about that, so I'll just stick with Shaw just because I've already put it in the graphic. Casemiro, Fred, and Bruno. I feel like in the FA Cup final, he might go with the Fred just because Christian Eriksen had an absolute stinker in the game against Manchester City, and I think if you want to get rhythm, again I use that word in air quotes, if you want to get rhythm into the team, he needs game time. You know, you can't just throw him in a fucking Man City game just without anything behind him. So I think Fred will start alongside Casemiro with Bruno. And then I've put Sancho, Martial, and Rashford, but I think Rashford will be on the right. I think Sancho will be on the left, and I think Martial will be up top. That's how I think he'll go with it. So, yeah. We've got Gamer Beans, I think his name is. A very interesting name. There's a record for home wins without defeat on the line. We'll beat the record if we beat Fulham. He'll only make a few changes because he'll want that record and he can't trust the squad. We did touch on that before about certain accolades and things coming into it, home records, financial things. So, yeah, that's why I'm a bit 50-50 on it. But, yeah, Brian's saying FA Cup is more important. Yeah, I suppose. With everything we've discussed, lads, it's time for the score prediction. Same order again, Treyas. What do you think? Final game of the season, we win 2-0. Who scores?
I think Rashford scores and Bruno scores.
Okay, it's taken to 31 in all competitions. Chive, you on mute? Yeah, there we go. Who scores? Do I bother asking who scores? Do you care?
Well, Garnacho would definitely score one of them.
Right, that's fine. Sam?
1-0, and I think Garnacho gets the goal.
Everyone get the score predictions in. Show's very, very nearly ending. I want to see a couple of score predictions, what you guys are saying. I think a 2-1 win to see the season off in style. And yeah, I think Garnacho would probably get on the score sheet. So yeah, Brian's saying 3-0. I hope so. I hope the bigger the score line, the better. You want to kind of leave the season with a good taste in the mouth, if that's the saying. I don't even know.
We should end the season with double-digit goal difference.
Yeah.
Should be in the key word, though, right?
Yeah, should.
Yeah.
Should.
Obviously, we could capitulate in the game and just like... Yeah. I think we're on 14, so we'd have to like... 14, we'd have to get absolutely blasted 5-0 to be on 9, so...
Well, look, I know there's going to be a lot of people who are very sad tomorrow. It is Maguire's last game, so my commiserations go out to you a lot. And I know it's going to be a bit of a struggle seeing him, but it is what it is. It's sometimes, these things come to an end. So let's hope we go out with a bang. Let's hope
just a thought.
It's a decent game.
Do you reckon they give him the Guard of Honour when he comes out? Like they do the Guard of Honour. This is his last game.
Oh, my God. Wow. They have to do that with about 9 players. They just have to stay. Like musical chairs, they'll just be rotating. Do you want to do your walk now? And then it's just like going around like that. The disrespect. Fucking hell. Right, that concludes the preview for today, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe to the channel and smash like if you have enjoyed this one. Like I said, I'll be live from 3:30 tomorrow to cover all the games. It's the last day of the Premier League, so come and join in with me. A lot of them aren't on TV, so it might be fun to kind of jump in on the watch along and get your comments in. For up-to-date news on transfers, clips from the show, and aesthetically pleasing visuals, check out our Instagram. All the graphics are at the bottom of your screen, so if you don't follow us on social media already, please consider doing that. And yeah, big thank you to the lads for joining me. Do you have any final one word that you want to leave, or a couple of words, guys?
Aaron with the comment of the day: 2-0. Maguire and Jones mic drop before they leave.
Get in. Get in there, Aaron.
I would take that. I would take that.
Imagine.
What are the odds on that?
Imagine. Fucking imagine. Actually, 3-0. Jones, Maguire, Weghorst. There you go.
Yeah.
3-0.
I'll take it. And all 3 of them are wandering like donkeys in Westeros, like, what? At the end of the game. Wow. I hope there's no United players who watch this, mate. Fucking hell.
Oh, Jesus.
You're going to be like, these lads, honestly, disrespectful. Right, yeah. I don't know what else to say.
If we ever get to the point where we're interviewing players, we're going to have to explain. We're going to have to explain so many clips and just be like, sorry.
It's me shouting donkey noises down the mic. I've done people just go, Ew.
Just 4 hours worth of us just tearing Phil Jones and a new one just for fucking.
It would be sad. It'd be sad when he goes because we've got nothing to talk about then. No, we'll miss him. So yeah, we wish you well, Phil, Barry, Scott, Brandon, all you guys that are moving on. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you lot in. Never again.
See you later.
Whoa, yeah, it's in a bit.